It's time once again for That Business Show with Jamie Meloni on 1250 Wins WHNZ, where business becomes show business. Now, live in studio and promoting the entrepreneurial spirit that drives the American economy, your host, Jamie Meloni.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to That Business Show with Jamie Meloni, where business becomes show business. Find this show on here weekdays at 8 a.m. on 1250 WHNZ. And this show is all about our business owners, entrepreneurs, and people making a difference in and around our community. So I invite you to please tune in. It's a show with a positive message. Take a break from all the talking heads and professional complainers out there complaining about what's going on up in Washington, and help support the local and regional community in and around the Tampa Bay region here by tuning in to That Business Show with Jamie Meloni each and every weekday here at 8 a.m. on 1250 WHNZ. Also, please help support the show. Visit our website, tampabayradio.com. On the page, you'll see our preferred providers. Those are our show sponsors. Please help support them as well. Let them know that you're reaching out to them because they're helping support the That Business Show with Jamie Meloni and help keep the show growing as well. Also on the website, you can catch past shows and see my extensive guest network that we're starting to build up here. We're in our 9th week here and speaking with 2 to 3 different business owners, entrepreneurs, political leaders each and every day. So on the website, you'll see the guest network as well. So click on that, and you can click on their show cards and watch their interview. A lot of great information that's been disseminated here on the show. As always, got some great community leaders on the show today. And second part of the hour, Yeager and Company with the Remodeler's Corner is going to be on the air. Jim Yeager not able to be in studio today. But as always, Charlie the plumber is en route, so always entertaining Charlie Palavita with Palavita Plumbing as part of the Remodeler's Corner. He'll be on the second part of the hour. And in the first part of the hour, we're going to open up here in just a moment with Jared Ross. And then we also will be having Nancy Crane, Executive Director of the Pediatric Cancer Foundation. So let's go ahead and bring on my first guest, Jared Ross, who joined the League of Southeastern Credit Unions and Affiliates in 2011 as the Florida Director of Legislative Affairs. In that role, Jared was the lead lobbyist on all matters before the Florida legislature and the Florida's congressional delegation. In July 2012, Jared was promoted to Vice President of Governmental Affairs, overseeing all the league's advocacy efforts in Alabama and Florida. In August of 2013, he was once again promoted to Senior Vice President of Association Services. Jared, welcome to the show today.
Thanks, Jamie. I really appreciate you having me on.
Yeah. So let's open up. Tell me about what the Florida Credit Union Association is.
Sure. Well, the Florida Credit Union Association is an affiliate of the League of Southeastern Credit Unions, and we're the Florida advocacy wing of the League of Southeastern Credit Unions. So basically what we do is we advocate on credit union issues before the state legislature and as well as Congress up in D.C., and that ranges from legislative lobbying to regulatory advocacy as well as our grassroots advocacy. So we're very busy throughout the year. It's not just a during the legislative session type of deal. It's throughout the entire year, but we're working hard to create an environment that is positive for our credit unions and their members.
Okay. Now, I know with the 2015 legislative session coming up, you have a number of priorities that you're going to be lobbying on behalf. Number one priority, public depository choice. Talk to me about this.
Sure. We just hit the halfway point of the legislative session up here in Tallahassee, and the public deposits issue is something that we've been working on for a few years now, and it's something that's not really known outside of the financial services industry or the local government industry, but what it boils down to is very simple. Local governments, whether that be your state, whether that be your town, your municipality, your school board, your fire department, they cannot put any of their funds into a credit union. They can only use a bank. And throughout the years, our credit unions have had several of these units of government coming to them, wanting to do business with them. Even in the local Tampa community, we've got several great credit unions that have been approached by local units of government to open accounts to do some business, and they've had to turn them away because of this law that says that credit unions cannot be qualified.
What's the history or what's the background for that? What is the reasoning behind that? Is there something in the history of banking that's reason why public or local institutions can't use their credit unions?
To be honest, it's been that way in Florida since the 1980s when the Security for Public Deposits Act was passed. And if I had to guess, I was not around lobbying these issues back then, but if I had to guess, I would think that it just had to do with credit unions really weren't interested in that at the time. It wasn't something that credit unions were really into. So when the act was passed and credit unions were left out, they probably just didn't even really think twice about it. And as the world and the economy have evolved and local governments have started to really look toward their credit unions to help them and possibly give a better return on deposit, they've really started to realize that this is something that, one, they can do, and two, that local governments want them to do. And so we at the league and our association has been tasked with trying to update this statute.
Talk to me about why it's important and some of the advantages that would come into play by allowing our local public offices to use our local to the credit unions locally.
Well, the most important thing is our local units of government want this. I don't think this is an issue that we would be all that engaged in if it wasn't for local governments coming to credit unions and asking them to do these sorts of accounts. The advantage, there's several. One, credit unions are locally owned; they're member owned, so the money that is deposited into a credit union is going to stay within your community. Whereas if you go to one of the big banks, it's very possible that money is going to get shipped up to Charlotte or Atlanta or to other areas where the bank is headquartered. When you do business with a credit union, that money stays within the community and is lended back out within the community. Another thing, because credit unions are not-for-profit, member-owned, cooperative financial institutions, it's the possibility exists that we could give a better return on deposit for a public entity. And when you're talking about budgets that are tight and people are always looking for every penny under the couch, I mean, that's just an opportunity to create more funds for a local government. And who knows, maybe you can fund a teacher's salary out of that. And everything we can do to help, we really want to be able to do that.
Okay, another issue I know that you're lobbying on behalf is protection from patent trolls that are affecting credit unions. Talk to me about patent trolls and what that is exactly.
Well, this is something, another one that's not all that well known outside political circles, but it's something that people should really be aware of. A patent troll is an individual or a company. A lot of times they come from attorneys' offices, and not to disparage attorneys, I am one myself. Right. But it's a letter that'll be sent to a business that says, you are using a technology that we have a patent on, and you can either pay us a licensing fee to continue to use this, or we're going to take you to court. Well, a lot of times there's no proof that, one, they have the patent, or two, that there's any type of patent on the technology you're using. Where it comes into the banking world, and this is something that we're working very closely with the Florida Bankers Association on, where it comes into play in the banking world is on things like ATMs, remote deposit capture, mobile banking. A credit union, a bank will purchase an app through a third-party vendor, and then we'll get one of these patent troll letters. And a lot of times the credit union, the bank will look at it and they'll say, okay, well, we have to pay this $5,000 to $10,000 licensing fee, $5,000 to $10,000 licensing fee, or go to court. When you're talking about patent law, you're talking about hundreds of thousands of dollars in legal fees, and a lot of times they'll just pay this $10,000 to get the so-called troll off their back and move forward. What we're trying to do is pass a statute, and the bill was actually just heard in the Senate committee this week and passed, and so now we're working to get it through another committee and also get it through the last committee on the House side. What it would do is it would have indicators for a court to decide whether that letter was sent in good faith or bad faith. It's for the court to decide. There's no it's not an exhaustive list. It's just something that the court can decide. Does it have the patent number on it? Does it say who owns the patent? Does it give specificity in what they are claiming they own the rights to? And that way, there's some protection. Now, there's also a bond that would have to be put up if I get one of these letters and I say, I'm sorry, but I don't believe you own this patent, and we're going to go to court. Well, then the person who sent the letter has to put a bond, I believe it's $50,000 up to basically protect the defendant in this case. Should the defendant, being me who received the letter, win the case, I would get all my attorney's fees paid for. So basically it's a loser pays provision, and it's just great consumer and business protection, and it's something that we really need to look at. the feds have been looking at the patent troll issue for a long time, and you talked about it earlier in your opening about people complaining about D.C., and I don't want to be one of those people, but we all know that if we rely on the feds to do everything, it may never get done.
May never get done. And now another thing that you're advocating on, something that I very excited to hear, is the financial literacy aspect with regard to our public education system. That's something that I've harped about a number of times on my show, is the lack of financial programs available to pre-college students in our educational system. Talk to me a little bit about that.
This is another issue that really is built in the core of what credit unions believe in, and that's financial responsibility. And we believe that a life with a healthy finance begins early. I look back at myself and I think, gosh, if I'd have had financial literacy when I was younger, I may not have taken out as many student loans to go to law school. And talking to students and talking to other people in my situation all around, they all feel the same way. And so what we've been working with Senator Dorothy Huckel as well as Representative Heather Fitzenhagen to pass what's called the money course. It's a requirement that in order to graduate high school, you would have to take 1/2 credit in financial literacy as one of you. It's not an elective at that point, it's a requirement, but it would lower the amount of electives you have to take, and instead of taking 8 hours, you would end up having to take 7.5, and that half credit would be replaced with financial literacy. And it would be learning what a bank account is, learning what a loan is, learning what compound interest really means. Because most students, and even people my age that are near in their 40s, don't even understand all of that. You go and you take out a car loan, you just sign the paperwork, and you drive away.
I remember making that mistake when I was 20 years old. Bought my first Jeep and didn't realize what upside down meant when you bought a car. And 6 weeks later, I got laid off, went to sell the thing. And they're like, well, it's upside down. I was like, what do you mean it's upside down? And so, I feel like an idiot, telling that story today. But yeah, I mean, I had no idea. Those are the types of simple things a lot of students don't realize.
And we believe that credit unions can really partner with the state to help with this effort. We offer so many programs through credit unions that folks don't know about. There's a thing called a reality fair, and that's kind of geared toward even younger students, not just the high school ones, where students will come to a reality fair. Each of the students is given a position in life, whether you're single, you're married, what your job is, how much you have in debt, and they have to go throughout these different stations to find a place to live, take care of their children, buy a car, buy entertainment, whatever they want as far as amenities in life, and they all have to figure out throughout this entire fair, it's a couple of hours, to live within the means of a budget. And that's something that, had someone ever given me that reality, I certainly would have realized things a lot differently than I did going through college and law school, and now in my professional life, married with 2 kids. Things are certainly eye-opening as you move forward in life.
Yeah, definitely some tips I would have appreciated having back in high school as well. Jared, I got to wrap it up, but I thank you very much for what you're doing on behalf of the community, and keep doing what you do, and I appreciate you checking into the show this morning.
Jamie, anytime. I really appreciate you having me, and best of luck to you, and look forward to listening to the other guests.
Sounds good. Thanks, Jared. Take care. If you're just tuning in, we're just talking with Jared Ross, Senior Vice President with the League of Southeastern Credit Unions and Affiliates, here on That Business Show with Jamie Meloni, where business becomes show business.
Are you in need of new flooring or ready to tackle that home remodeling project? Then contact Yeager & Company Incorporated, a family-owned, state-certified general contracting business with over 70 years of experience and the recipient of the Angie's List Super Service Award for the last 8 years in multiple categories. Yeager & Company comes to you with their shop-at-home flooring sales service, and their hardwood flooring refinishing is the very best in the Bay. Kitchen and bath design featuring American-made, well-born cabinets, and all work is done by employees, not subcontractors. Learn more at YeagerFlooring.com. In the market for a reverse mortgage? Contact Access Reverse, a local company with personalized service in the Bay Area. Call them at 727-347-0305 or visit AccessReverse.com for a no-cost, no-obligation consultation. They'll come to your home and speak with you about the best options for your reverse mortgage. Plus, they offer the lowest closing costs. Don't just get a reverse mortgage. Get the right reverse mortgage with Access Reverse. Visit AccessReverse.com. NMLS number 4566. Bud Spriggs and Movement Mortgage want you to experience the thrill of one-day underwriting and the comfort in knowing your loans will be clear to close in record time. While the competition looks to a lost closing date, Bud Spriggs and Movement Mortgage focus on their 12-day clear to close. They do this by utilizing their world-class operations staff to underwrite your loan within 6 hours, process your loan in 12 days, and have your loan closed in time. Underwritten in 6 hours, cleared to close in 12 days. Bud Spriggs and Movement Mortgage.
Hey there, it's Lynn Wise, the founder of Wise Business Advisors and Contractor Business Alliance. I am a certified value builder advisor, and I help business owners build a company that will allow them to have the business that they dreamed of when they started. Why did you go into business for yourself? I'm sure it was not to work 100 hours a week with no work-life balance and no financial freedom. What am I talking about? I'm talking about building a business that provides value to you and your family now and in the future. You can learn about the 8 essential areas of a business that you must build to have a business that can be an asset for your future. Go to wisebusinessadvisors.com and take the Value Builder score. It is free and will deliver your score immediately on how you are doing on building a valuable business for you and your family. Or call me at 772-834-8513 to learn more about the Value Builder system.
Are you looking for a local real estate firm that knows the market and has your interests in mind? Then contact Jim McPeak at McPeak Real Estate Firm, a family-owned business whose agents have over 60-plus years of experience in the Tampa Bay market. Many of the agents are military veterans that know the VA process for buying a home and are proud to help our military members in any way they can. From residential to commercial real estate, McPeak Real Estate Firm is here to help. Contact Jim at 813-495-3875 and learn more at McPeakTeam.com.
This report is brought to you by Sam's Club. This Easter, get a boneless carving ham for $3.28 per pound or less. Green beans with oranges and herb butter for $3.98 per pound. And 35-count cluster-baked dinner rolls for $4.98. Join and save. Sam's Club. Life is better in the club.
From the Bright House Network's Traffic Center.
Veterans Expressway still bumper to bumper southbound from the toll plaza all the way down to Waters. The crosstown has westbound delays from 75 all the way down to 78th. And now on I-4 westbound, we have a serious accident causing delays between Thornado Sasso Road and Branch Forbes. From there, it's your usual slowdowns. See traffic problems? Call the injury firm of Abrahamson and Utica Hillsborough Traffic Tip Line, 866-545-9595.
Today, partly cloudy, a high of 83. Tonight, partly cloudy, a low of 65. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, a high of 85.
You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie Meloni on 1250 Wins WHNZ. Once again, here's your host, Jamie Meloni.
Welcome back, everybody, to That Business Show with Jamie Meloni, where business becomes show business. Catch the show on here weekdays at 8 a.m. on 1250 WHNZ, as this show is all about our business owners, entrepreneurs, political leaders, and people making a difference in and around the Tampa Bay community. I want to bring on my next guest, Nancy Crane, Executive Director with the Pediatric Cancer Foundation. And Nancy's career path began in 1976 as a specific learning disabilities teacher in Tampa. In 1981, she began teaching for the C.E. Mendez Foundation as a drug prevention specialist, and in 2009 was invited to join the Pediatric Cancer Foundation as their executive director. Nancy, welcome to the show today.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Thank you very much. So talk to me a little bit more about what the role of the Pediatric Cancer Foundation is.
The Pediatric Cancer Foundation is a nonprofit organization, and we fund childhood cancer research. Our focus is to find less toxic, more targeted therapies for kids with cancer.
What do you say, less toxic therapies? I mean, what's out there that is, on the marketplace that we may not be aware of? What are some of the therapies out there that are, behind that the Pediatric Cancer Foundation is working to bring to market?
First of all, there have only been 2 drugs in the last 20 years that have come to market for childhood cancer, specifically for children. And our goal is to find new therapies to help these kids that are less toxic. We're still using adult drugs for kids, and they are very toxic. Many times we're using combination drugs now, which is really what doctors feel is going to be our hope, but we're still using a lot of chemotherapy. And we are looking for those drugs that are going to be better for our kids. Yeah, it's unfortunate that there's just not a lot of stuff on the marketplace for children, and it seems that the cancer industry is geared towards the adults. And I had a Kyle Matthews in on his show last year. He's with Because of Ezra Foundation. Lost his child to a form of pediatric cancer, and one of the points that he made is that there's just not a big enough market to support the research in that industry, and that's why all the drugs are geared towards the adults. Talk to me a little bit about this. Is this something that's that you're seeing out there with the Pediatric Cancer Foundation? Definitely. Pharmaceutical companies are becoming more involved with the Pediatric Cancer Foundation, and we're happy about that. In the past, certainly, we just don't have the number of children. About 160,000 kids will be diagnosed worldwide, and about every 6.5 hours, we're going to lose a child in the United States from childhood cancer. And the numbers just don't work economically for many of the pharmaceutical companies. So organizations like the Pediatric Cancer Foundation need to step up, raise money, and then do their own research or give the money to institutions that are doing great research around the country.
How has support been for the organization from the community and other people and industry leaders and stuff? How's the funding and the support been for your organization?
The support is good. We certainly always need more funding. One of the ways that we have found really in the last 6 months is that people are looking up charities on Charity Navigator and GuideStar. We were lucky enough to be chosen in November as one of the top 10 charities in the nation to watch. That has helped us greatly. Wow. And we're finding people all across the country because we are a national organization. Our headquarters are here. We only have one office, and we only have 6 people who work for us full-time. People across the country who don't have a charity of choice and might be interested in either research or childhood cancer or children look at Charity Navigator or GuideStar, and they're looking for 4-star charities, and they're particularly looking for ones that have a top 10 rating. 90% of our expenses, of our allocated expenses, go to our program, which is our research. And that's something that really makes people understand that we are using our certainly great donors' monies in a very safe way and good way. And I think that's really helped us tremendously.
Now, the Sunshine Project, I see you have here on your talking points. You've launched 4 clinical trials in the past 8 years. Talk to me about this project.
The Sunshine Project came about in 2008 and really became a part of the Pediatric Cancer Foundation. In the past 15 years, we had donated money to particular institutions, University of Miami, University of Florida, a lot of institutions, St. Joe's Hospital in Tampa. We had donated money to those institutions and researchers in those institutions. And we had been basically funding basic science research. In 2008, when we formed the Sunshine Project, we decided that it was best to fund clinical trials and basic science and translational research from the bench to the bedside. But we also, in order to find these new, less toxic therapies, we need to fund clinical trials. That's the way we're going to find new therapies for kids. And clinical trials are very expensive. It can be up to $25,000 per child for a clinical trial, and you need to usually get anywhere from 15 to 25 children in a trial. So for us, a trial can cost anywhere from $450,000 to sometimes $800,000. And many times, if we can get the pharmaceutical company to at least fund one of the drugs, we can raise that money. So we have been very fortunate in the past 3 or 4 years to be able to give $1 million to our specific research.
Wow, that's incredible. $1 million.
Yeah.
Wow, congratulations on
that.
that.
Over the past 2 years, and this year we're rounding the end of our fiscal year, and we'll be over $1 million. Wow. So we are really, really proud of that.
How is Moffitt Cancer Center affiliated with the Pediatric Cancer Foundation? How are they helping out?
Moffitt Cancer Center is a great partner to the Pediatric Cancer Foundation. They are our administrators of all of our clinical trials. Dr. Damon Reed, who is a pediatric oncologist at All Children's Hospital in St. Petersburg, and also treats young adults at Moffitt Cancer Center. He's a specialist in sarcoma, is our lead investigator, and he works with our 14 hospitals nationwide who bring up the ideas for us through the pipeline. And we, as a group of these 14 hospitals with Dr. Reed at the helm, decide what clinical trials and research we're going to fund. Dr. Reed is a part of Moffitt, and he's a part of All Children's. And that combination for us is perfect because he's seeing the young adult population at Moffitt. That's one of the fastest growing areas in cancer. And we're very interested in that, as well as certainly all the children. So Moffitt, if we didn't have Moffitt, our Sunshine Project would not work efficiently and effectively, and they're a great partner for us.
Hold that point. I'm going to carry you over here and talk to you a little bit more in the next part of this third segment here. But if you're just tuning in, we're talking with Nancy Crane, Executive Director of the Pediatric Cancer Foundation, here on That Business Show with Jamie Meloni, where business becomes show business.
Hi, welcome to Yeager's. We just want to take a minute and show you what we're all about. At Yeager's, our primary business is hardwood flooring, although we are remodelers for kitchen, bath, and general construction. We operate a fleet of shop-at-home vans that have all the flooring-type products, hardwood flooring, laminate flooring, tiles, stone, what have you. So we're able to come out first with products in our vehicles and take a look at the setting, how the colors will work, and then to be able to come up with some options and ideas for you. If that's not good enough, we have a large distribution center that we inventory product and have a nice display area.
Of Morgan & Morgan. We take very seriously our obligations to our clients, many who come to us in their most desperate hour. Our mission is you. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
Today, Geico's stuff found in your car takes us under your passenger seat.
Hello, darling. Remember me? That earring you lost? I thought we were close, but then it took 15 minutes to notice I was missing in this ghastly carpeting. That's 15 minutes you could have used to switch your car insurance to Geico and saved hundreds of dollars. Money you could use for new earrings. And wouldn't that be nice? For you.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Visit geico.com today.
They say life is about choices. So let me introduce you to one of the best choices you can make in life. Grainger Choice. The Grainger Choice product line has just about everything we need to keep this place running. From batteries to V-belts, safety to sump pumps. And with Grainger Choice, we can trust that every product is dependable and cost-effective. When it comes to making life choices, here's a great one. Grainger Choice. Get it? Got it? Good. Call, click Grainger.com/choice, or stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This report is brought to you by Sam's Club. This Easter, get a boneless carving ham for $3.28 per pound or less. Green beans with oranges in herb butter for $3.98 per pound. And 35-count cluster-baked dinner rolls for $4.98. Join and save. Sam's Club. Life is better in the club.
From the Bright House Network's Traffic Center.
It's Expressway still bumper to bumper southbound from the Sugarwood Toll Plaza to Waters Avenue. Looks like the crosstown is also heavy westbound from 75 into 78th Street, all because of an earlier accident. Expect to see delays on I-4 westbound from Alexander Street to Branch Forbes. See a traffic problem? Call the injury firm of Abrahamson and Utica Hillsborough Traffic Tip Line, 866-545-9595.
Winds, Weather Center forecast, sunshine, a few scattered clouds start to develop through the late morning and afternoon, and a 20% chance of scattered afternoon showers. Low mid-80s for the high today, overnight lows mid-60s. In fact, Radio 1250 Winds, WHNZ.
You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie Meloni on 1250 Winds WHNZ. Once again, here's your host, Jamie Meloni.
Welcome back, everybody, to That Business Show with Jamie Meloni, where business becomes show business. Keep in mind, you can catch this show on here weekdays at 8 a.m. on 1250 WHNZ, as each and every day I'm talking to different business owners, entrepreneurs, and political leaders and people making a difference in and around the Tampa Bay and regional communities. And so please tune in and support the show and take a break from all the political talk that seems to be polluting the airwaves each and every day. This is a show with a positive message, so please help support the show. Also visit the website, tampabayradio.com, and support our sponsors as well. There's a preferred providers tab on that site as well, so check them out, give them some business, and let them know that you're helping them out because of what the show is doing for the community. Again, head over to tampabayradio.com. Here in just a few minutes, we're going to start with the Remodelers Corner, but we just got Charlie Palavita with Palavita Plumbing on behalf of Yeager and Company showing up here, and he'll be on the show here in just a moment. But I want to wrap up some points here with Nancy Crane. We were talking with here in the last part of the show. Their executive director with the Pediatric Cancer Foundation. Now you have the Besito Mexican grand opening is coming up here at the West Shore Plaza. I featured Besito Mexican on a show a couple of weeks ago. Talk to me about this. What's going to be happening at this opening?
Sure. On Tuesday, April 7th, we will be at the brand new Besito It's the new Mexican restaurant that's opening where the old Palm restaurant was in the West Shore Plaza.
Mm-hmm.
And we are the charity of choice that evening on the 7th, where people will come in and get to taste all the great fresh food, fresh Mexican food, and we're really excited about the evening. And then the next day, on April 8th, the restaurant will open to the public.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this. They were in on my show a couple weeks ago. Like I said, they made some guacamole live here in studio, and one of the features of that restaurant is every table is going to have tableside guacamole made fresh at the restaurant. So it's something. It was great guacamole. I'm not a big fan of guacamole either. I love the mix that they put together. It was very good. Now, all the proceeds from this grand opening are going to benefit the Pediatric Cancer Foundation, correct?
That's right. We're going to make over $10,000, and that will pay for one child in a clinical trial. And we are so pleased with that donation and the fact that they chose us to be their partner. We couldn't be more thankful for that, and really hope they have great success with the new restaurant. I know they will.
Yeah, and this is going on Tuesday, April 7th from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Again, the grand opening of the Besito Mexican restaurant over in the West Shore Plaza. Tickets, I see $50 a person, can be purchased online at your website, fastercure.org, correct?
Actually, we are sold out.
Oh, you're sold out now.
I am so sorry to say,
man, that's terrible.
but I do want all the listeners to please go any day after the 7th.
Wow.
Again, it opens on the 8th and the West Shore Plaza, and it's Besito. You don't want to miss it. It's going to be fresh Mexican food, and I love the fact that it's very nutritious, and I think people will really like the new concept.
Well, how can if people can't aren't able now to support the foundation, obviously with this event, what are some of the other ways people can support the Pediatric Cancer Foundation?
You can certainly go to our website at fastercure.org, and right now we have a fundraiser going on. It's called Cut for a Cure, and people can go on to our website at PCF, cutforacure.org.
What's Cut for a Cure
Check
all
it
about?
out.
What's Cut for a Cure? Tell me what's getting cut. The
It's
hair?
where men, women, businesses, teams of people are shaving their heads for childhood cancer. And we'll have over 200 men and women. They actually get buzz cuts.
Yeah.
So, I mean, really, you can get a 1, 2, or 3.
You even did that last year, you said.
Did.
Wow.
I did. And it's hair. It's only hair, so it grows back. But my son, my husband, and I did it as a team, and we encourage people in the community to join us. We're closed for this year, but certainly next year we do it every year. Starting in March, we've done all the sports teams, the Tampa Bay Lightning, Tampa Bay Rays, and getting ready to do the Bucks in June, so we can't wait.
Yeah, cool. Great stuff that you're doing for the community and also for the cancer industry and stuff. So, Nancy Crane, thank you very much for stopping by the show this morning and checking in.
Thank you very much for having me.
And if you're just tuning in, that was Nancy Crane, Executive Director for the Pediatric Cancer Foundation. Learn more about them over at fastercure.org. Again, fastercure.org. And also, you can catch the show recap after each and every show, including this one, over at tampabayradio.com, where you can get contact information and information on any of the promotions and talking points that we covered during the show. Well, it's Thursday's second part of the show. Time for the Remodeler's Corner. Jim Yeager, Yeager & Company, a weekly feature here talking about the building industry and all kinds of crazy different topics. Jim Yeager not able to be in studio with us. He's out for the next few weeks. But Charlie Palavita is in here today with Palavita Plumbing and also a plumbing contractor with Yeager & Company. Learn more about Yeager & Company over at their website, YeagerFlooring.com. And again, please help support Yeager & Company, YeagerFlooring.com. They are a big part of the show, featured here each and every Thursday at 8:30. They're a third-generation flooring and general contracting company. Don't let the website fool you there. They're more than just a flooring company specializing in kitchen, bath remodeling, and pretty much any and all work that you need done on a property. Reach out to them. They've done a lot of work for me, and I can tell you, Jim Yeager and his company, they are a class act. They got a great showroom up in Odessa, and come highly recommended here by That Business Show with Jamie Meloni. So please check out their website, YeagerFlooring.com, and help support them as they're helping to support the show. So got Charlie Palavita in here today. Charlie, how you doing today?
Hey, good morning, Jamie. Hey, it's still another beautiful day out there. Let me tell you what, it's the weather's great. Business is good. Hey, I'd like to give a shout out to Jim Yeager. Jim, I hope you're doing well. He had a little bit of, minor surgery, and our thoughts and prayers go out with Jim. And I'd like to say hi to all of our Marine Corps brothers and sisters out there. Semper Fi, do or die. Hoorah.
We were just talking about the Cut for the Cure on behalf of the Pediatric Cancer Foundation. Now, you're pretty much all lined up for that. You just take a little bit off the top there. You're pretty much ready to go.
Yeah, I'm going to shave my head for that, too. I'm a big supporter of that, too. I love that. Hey, I'm going to go to her Mexican restaurant. And what was the name of your restaurant again?
It's not hers. It's the Besito Mexican restaurant. They're the foundation that's going to be benefiting from the initial grand opening and stuff. But Besito Mexican, it's going to be in the West Shore Plaza in South Tampa there. And I featured them a few weeks ago, and it's going to be a very nice upscale Mexican restaurant. And so, yeah, down on the address on West Shore Plaza, I don't know what that is exactly, but I think it's West Shore and Kennedy, right? Yeah, right. West Shore and Kennedy in South Tampa.
Yummy. I'm getting hungry just thinking about it.
Oh, yeah, man. They were in here just a few weeks ago, and they had made fresh guacamole here. And they're going to do that for each and every patron that comes into the restaurant. You come up, and they're going to make, a fresh guacamole right there, table side. So something to be looking forward to. Don't see that in any of the other restaurants in and around Tampa. So it's going to be a pretty good feature to have. I'm definitely looking forward to that.
Outstanding. Charlie the plumber loves guacamole.
So last week we were talking about the new organization that Yeager and Company's putting out there, the PI to PI program, Paris Island to private industry, on behalf of supporting Marines returning from overseas. Talk to us about that for the listeners that weren't tuned in last week.
Well, certainly it's Jim Yeager's way of trying to give back to Marines helping Marines out. There's nobody better to hire for your business, somebody that's already trained, somebody that can jump through hoops, somebody's willing to do anything and everything for the company, that's instilled in the Marines. They do the most with the least, and they're motivated, they improvise, they adapt, they overcome. Hey, let's face it, there's nothing that a Marine can't do. Hey, even that 110 pounds soaking wet Marine, let me tell you what, there's nothing that he can't do either. If you don't believe me, just ask one of them. Mm-hmm. Hoorah.
Yeah, and you had we featured one of them last week. It was Travis. What Travis, right?
Yes, Travis Scott, yep. Sergeant Travis Scott, another great young American, and it was pretty cool because he had Marines listening in Camp Leatherneck, Afghanistan. They got up in the middle of the night.
Oh, we were featured over in Afghanistan.
Oh yeah,
man, that's great.
They were streaming it live in living color.
Hey,
guys,
growing the show internationally now, getting an international reach. That's good to hear. So, yeah, and the show, of course, is streamed live. People can catch the live stream over at TampaBayRadio.com. That's good to hear. So, how's he doing with you guys over there? How's that been?
He's doing great. You know what? He's such a nice young fella, too, and there's nothing that he's afraid of doing. He's just another tremendous asset for Yeager and Company, who, by the way, they do the most beautiful floors. You know what? It amazes me because I go in these homes, and we do kitchens and bathrooms, but they do more of the big floors. They do the tile, the marble. They'll do the hardwood floors, and some of these floors are just really incredible. But they'll work on the average homes up to these multi-million-dollar homes. It's great. There's no floor that they can't do for a customer, and they got the great pricing. They got great employees.
They got a great showroom too. That's the nice thing. You go up to their showroom up in Odessa there, and they got all kinds of carpet samples, all kinds of tile samples, everything in there. I mean, it's a very good, and a lot of people on staff ready to help you out. And
interior decorators. I mean, people are willing to lay things out. They'll show you every aspect of the job from the very beginning to the very end, and it's amazing because even just to do a bathroom, there's so much that goes into it. And, that's one thing they strive is to make every customer happy. And, you do thousands of jobs, and, every once in a while you might have a little snafus, but let me tell you what, Yeager will bend over backwards to make jobs right. And, that's what it takes to be in this business, is to make another happy customer.
Yeah, they got definitely the experience in hand. A third-generation company. That's incredible to be in business. 3 generations and still going strong. Learn more about them, of course, at YeagerFlooring.com. But I want to come back to the PI to PI organization that Yeager and Company is putting together. How can different business owners and stuff help out? Are you looking for employers that are going to be part of a network to bring in the returning Marines, or what's the plan for the organization?
Sure, we're going to start once he gets all the different, the paperwork done. He's going to have the website to where people can go, employers, and that way that we can all network to where we can get the Marines coming back from being discharged from active duty to getting them hired out there to these different private industries that are
So one way business owners can help is they can get in touch with myself and Jim Yeager and say, hey, we want to help support the organization, PI to PI, Paris Island, the private industry, and help our returning Marines get back into the workplace. Because that's a challenge for many returning service members to get back into the workplace. Some of them don't even have real work experience. They're inundated with the military life, and they come back and they don't really understand the culture of how to work in industry, correct?
Well, yeah, sometimes it's a little learning curve, but there's many different MOSs in the military. It's a military occupational specialty. They'll have anything from an office clerk to the grunts out there in the field, the guys that are in the Amtraks, the tanks. First of all, foremost and utmost, every Marine's a rifleman, so every Marine is trained for combat, although you may not have that particular duty 24/7. You might be working in an office somewhere just taking care of paperwork to get the munitions and the supplies out to the troops in the field.
But I think one of the challenges coming back from overseas, if you haven't been in the workplace before, is the lack of structure sometimes in the business environment versus being in the Marines and the other services, obviously, where there's much more of a regimented structure to it. I hear that complaint a lot. Talk to me about that.
Well, yeah, that and these guys have so much discipline. It's something that private industry can use as maybe a structure for their own businesses. I mean, not to be 100% military, but let me tell you what, there's a lot of things about the military that are great. It's just like having people show up on time,
Right.
In the construction industry, that's one of the worst things. You're not having a contractor show up when they're supposed to.
Right. That's big. The biggest complaint I think that consumers have about contractors, they don't show up on time, or they don't even show up at all sometimes, So I think having a military background, I don't think you'll have too much of a problem with that. They'll probably show up on what I call, what we refer to often Lombardi time, 10, 15 minutes early or you're late. That's what Coach Lombardi said from with Packers, historic coach in the NFL and everything. So got to take a quick break here, but coming back from the break, we'll talk a little bit more here with Charlie the Plumber here on That Business Show with Jamie Meloni, where business becomes show business.
Are you in need of new flooring or ready to tackle that home remodeling project? Then contact Yeager & Company Incorporated, a family-owned, state-certified general contracting business with over 70 years of experience and the recipient of the Angie's List Super Service Award for the last 8 years in multiple categories. Yeager & Company comes to you with their Shop at Home flooring sales service, and their hardwood flooring refinishing is the very best in the Bay. Kitchen and bath design featuring American-made, well-born cabinets, and all work is done by employees, not subcontractors. Learn more at YeagerFlooring.com. In the market for a reverse mortgage? Contact Access Reverse, a local company with personalized service in the Bay Area. Call them at 727-347-0305 or visit AccessReverse.com for a no-cost, no-obligation consultation. They'll come to your home and speak with you about the best options for your reverse mortgage. Plus, they offer the lowest closing costs. Don't just get a reverse mortgage. Get the right reverse mortgage with Access Reverse. Visit AccessReverse.com. NMLS number 4566. Bud Spriggs and Movement Mortgage want you to experience the thrill of one-day underwriting and the comfort in knowing your loans will be clear to close in record time. While the competition looks to a lost closing date, Bud Spriggs and Movement Mortgage focus on their 12-day clear to close. They do this by utilizing their world-class operations staff to underwrite your loan within 6 hours, process your loan in 12 days, and have your loan closed in time. Underwritten in 6 hours, cleared to close in 12 days. Bud Spriggs and Movement Mortgage.
Hey there, it's Lynn Wise, the founder of Wise Business Advisors and Contractor Business Alliance. I am a certified value builder advisor, and I help business owners build a company that will allow them to have the business that they dreamed of when they started. Why did you go into business for yourself? I'm sure it was not to work 100 hours a week with no work-life balance and no financial freedom. What am I talking about? I'm talking about building a business that provides value to you and your family now and in the future. You can learn about the 8 essential areas of a business that you must build to have a business that can be an asset for your future. Go to wisebusinessadvisors.com and take the Value Builder score. It is free and will deliver your score immediately on how you are doing on building a valuable business for you and your family. Or call me at 772-834-8513 to learn more about the Value Builder system.
Are you looking for a local real estate firm that knows the market and has your interests in mind? Then contact Jim McPeak at McPeak Real Estate Firm, a family-owned business whose agents have over 60-plus years of experience in the Tampa Bay market. Many of the agents are military veterans that know the VA process for buying a home and are proud to help our military members in any way they can. From residential to commercial real estate, McPeak Real Estate Firm is here to help. Contact Jim at 813-495-3875 and learn more at McPeakTeam.com.
This report is brought to you by Sam's Club. This Easter, get a boneless carving ham for $3.28 per pound or less. Green beans with oranges and herb butter for $3.98 per pound. And 35-count cluster-baked dinner rolls for $4.98. Join and save. Sam's Club. Life is better in the club.
From the Bright House Network's Traffic Center.
In Palm Harbor, alternate US 19 northbound north of Alderman Road has traffic blocked for a major crash. You're going to find delays on the crosstown westbound from 75 into 78th Street, and it's still bumper to bumper on Veterans Expressway southbound from Sugarwood Toll Plaza all the way down to Waters Avenue. See traffic problems? Call the injury firm of Abrahamson and Utica Hillsborough Traffic Tip Line 866-545-9595.
Today, partly cloudy, a high of 83. Tonight, partly cloudy, a low of 65. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, a high of 85.
You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie Meloni on 1250 Wins WHNZ. Once again, here's your host, Jamie Meloni.
Welcome back, everybody, to That Business Show with Jamie Meloni, where business becomes show business. Keep in mind you can catch this show here weekdays at 8 a.m. on 1250 WHNZ, so please help support the show also by visiting TampaBayRadio.com and clicking on our Preferred Providers tab and helping us support all the show sponsors. And also, if you're a business owner or entrepreneur in and around the Tampa Bay region looking to grow and promote their business, welcome you all in here to tell me your story. There's no charge for a guest appearance, so don't let that stop you. Best way to get me, send me an email, jamie@tampabayradio.com. Again, jamie@tampabayradio.com. Or you can just reach out to me through the contact form at the website, tampabayradio.com as well. It's Thursdays here, second part of the show. As always, the weekly feature, Remodelers Corner, sponsored by Jim Yeager over at Yeager & Company. Learn more about them and support the business, YeagerFlooring.com. And they're more than just a flooring company. They are kitchen, bath remodels, pretty much any general contracting work that you may need. Please reach out to Jim Yeager of Yeager & Company and learn more and get their information over at YeagerFlooring.com. Jim Yeager not able to be in studio with us today, so we're talking with one of his subcontractors, Charlie the plumber, Charlie Palavita. So, Charlie, well, you're just talking a moment ago about a psychologist report on behalf of returning or people enlisting in the military. Talk to me about what you were just saying.
Yeah, it was kind of disturbing. But hey, before I say that, let me give a shout out to my wife. Hey, Michelle, I love you, honey. See, if I don't do that, she's going to kill me.
All right. That's always good. That's always good to get a shout-out. Not always good to kill you.
No, I'm good with my wife, so, hey, life is good.
Yeah.
Well, I was listening on the radio, as I do, driving from job to job. It's like, that's what I do. I listen to a lot of talk radio. I was listening to a particular program, and they had the psychologists on there talking about some of these veterans, what they do, and when they come back, the PSTD, and he says, well, after all, these Marines, they sign up to die for their country. And that disturbed me. I started just like...
Started yelling at the radio, right?
Started yelling at the radio. So, I had to call the radio station.
Oh, you had to call him, okay.
I had to call him. I had to correct what the doctor said. I says... I heard that he said that Marines sign up to die for their country. I told him, no, they don't. Marines sign up to make the enemy die for their country. That's what Marines do. And then they started telling me, no, the doctor didn't say that, but they replayed it, and that's exactly what he said. No, service people, we don't sign up to die for our country. We sign up to protect our country, to defend our people against enemies, foreign and domestic. Anybody that signs up to die for their country, that's suicide.
Right.
I mean, I'm thinking, the frickin' psychologist is nuts. Well, anyway, and I thought that was
you got to talk to him, though, right? You got to set the record straight for him, correct?
Yeah, it's like, just like I've been instructed by my Marine Corps drill instructor, we sign up to make the enemy die for their country. I'm thinking, brilliant. Hey, sign me up. Hey, you know what? And I still feel strongly about defending our country. The world's in turmoil, as we all know, and that's why we need to pray for our troops. Freedom is not for free. I thank all the service people out there, just not the Marines, but especially the Marines. But, hey, you know what? I love them all. I love my Navy brothers and sisters out there. This guy, Chris Kyle, American sniper, what a great American he was. He saved so many Marines and service people over in Iraq, and If anybody
That's a
gets
tragic story. I saw the movie just a few weeks ago. Actually, it's been a few months now, and then the trial just wrapped up on behalf of Chris Kyle and stuff. That's just unfortunate how he goes overseas, survives all that enemy fire, and then comes back and tries to help fellow Marines, and then gets unfortunately shot and killed by somebody he's trying to help, and it was just terrible.
Yeah, he murdered Chris Kyle and his friend. I can't think of his name right off the hand, but God bless him too. And I wish I could have thanked Chris Kyle in person for what he did. And just like I tell people, Charlie the plumber, he did it his one enlistment, but I'm no great hero. I was just, hey, you know what? If we would have, if it would have been our turn to go, like I was in when they were holding the hostages in Iran, Jamie, back in 1978. That's when President Carter was in office, and we were actually ready to go over there twice, and he made us stand down. They held the hostages in the embassy for 444 days, and our Marine Corps brothers, which the Marines are the embassy guards, and that's what we wanted to do, is go free our Marine Corps brothers. And but we were ready to go. And just like I tell people, I was no hero, but I was signed up, ready to do what I had to do. And it just wasn't.
Your tour was in the late 70s then, and
late 70s.
When did you get out? When did you get out?
1980, end of 1980. But hey, I love the Marine Corps more now than ever. The adage is once a Marine, always a Marine, and I take that to heart. And hey, if they need a plumber that can shoot, I'd go back in. I really would. I mean, to defend our country, and I'll do whatever it takes. And like I told people, I never earned any war medals. I said, hell, I never even got a good conduct medal. But like I told him, I says, I didn't think Marines were supposed to get good conduct medals. I says, if I wanted a good conduct medal, I would have gone in the Navy.
Well, thank you for your service. What did you do in the Marines? What was your job, and what were you learning over there?
Well, besides being a rifleman, I was actually, we ran the company office. We did all the paperwork, so it was a business administration, and which that's what my degree's in, business administration. But what makes me money is my master plumbing license. I'm the kind of guy, I'm all for furthering one's education, but you know what? College isn't for everybody. People need to go out there and, go to these trade schools, go in the military. There's, every day's a learning experience. Let's face it, when you stop learning, that's when you have a problem. And
yeah, if you're not growing, you're shrinking. If you're not learning, you're shrinking. I've always make those points all the time when talking. And it's a great point that you're just raising there, in line with what I say a lot of times as well. Go ahead and continue.
Yeah, we need more people out there to be plumbers, electricians. There's only so many computer jobs to go around, although that's a big industry. You know what? Heck, I should have developed software. I mean, that's a great industry.
Hey, we still need the tradesmen out there. Absolutely. There's always going to be.
We still need people to go out there and put pipes together. You know what? Like I said, you can't outsource plumbing. Call India for plumbing, right?
Right.
I mean, it's but the service industry, plumbing, electrical, HVAC. Those are things that we need all the time. I mean, if your toilet's not flushing, if your house is flooded, if you want to remodel, hey, there's always work for plumbers out there. There's actually a shortage of plumbers, so it makes it good for us because there's more work for us. But hey, I'm all about sharing. Hey, I don't want all the business. I just want a little piece of the pie.
Hey, we'll try to do our best to get you as much as we can. Hey, we got to wrap it up, though. But, Charlie, thank you very much, as always, for being in the studio and stuff, and, putting in, your time here with Yeager and Company as well. So thank you very much also for your service to the country.
Well, thank you for mentioning that, Jimmy. And, Jim, we'll talk to you later. God bless you, and God bless all of our veterans. In Jesus' name, amen.
Thanks, Charlie. If you're just tuning in, you've been listening to That Business Show with Jamie Meloni, and we're just talking with Charlie Palavita of Yeager and Flooring, or Yeager and Company, I should say. Learn more about them at YeagerFlooring.com, and please help support them and visit the website TampaBayRadio.com to support the show as well. You're again listening to That Business Show with Jamie Meloni, where business becomes show business.